Good morning and welcome back to another video, and today we will be going over the arcane crystal farm within 𝐸𝐸𝐿𝐿. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Okay, so today we will be going over the arcane crystal farm which is located within 𝐸𝐸𝐿𝐿. This is a pretty easy farm in order to do. Mainly all you have to do is just go into the map and just go along the outside. You can see by the route it's quite simplistic in order to do, and pretty much all you have to do is just that. Now I prefer to do this on a druid because it's just so much easier to do farming on a druid, so pick your preference, I don't mind. And what you'll be farming is the small eye thorium veins. What you really want to be getting is those rich ones, but more often than not you'll be getting the small ones and then some rich ones every now and then. Alongside all of that, you will also get some true silver to go along with here. And overall it's a pretty easy farm in order to do if you just want to do a farm on a casual basis without having any issues. The only thing you will have to do, however, is then go over to 𝐸𝐸𝐿𝐿, which is located just here on the map, and basically you'll have to turn it from BFA's the big sword in the sky, well, in the ground of Azeroth, and then turn it back to the way it was in order to actually get thorium ore from here. Otherwise it just causes you won't be able to do the farm very well. And there we go, we just got a arcane crystal which is currently valued on my server at a minimum buyout of 1,100 gold. Obviously worth it is not accounting for that, otherwise it would be a stupidly high value, but currently what it's actually retailing for is a market value of 428 gold for that actual item, which is close enough to the actual thing it actually is. So for this actual farm, what we actually got was a healthy minus that stuff. You can see in the bags we have roughly around quite a lot, but if we just have a look at the editor, which is what we actually used for the hour, we actually got the bulk of the majority of our farm came from arcane crystals. We have 23 of those within the hour, and we just got another one just now, but that came to a total of 17,462 gold. So really happy with that. That's really good. They are used to make arcanite bars, or arcanite bars, to actually pronounce that correctly. And then we also got Azerothian diamonds, 3 of those for 27 gold, not really worth a pop. Blue sapphire, we got 2 of those for 24 gold. And huge emeralds, we got 7 of those, which is quite surprising. That is 96 gold for those, and star ruby, 6 of those for 25 gold. The other thing of note is obviously the ore, what we're actually farming. That's thorium ore, 719 gold. Not really, 719 thorium ore for 1,478 gold. Thorium ore doesn't really get a decent value, mainly because it's so plentiful. It's really easy to farm up, and it mainly only gets this high gold per hour in the old world because of arcane crystals can only drop from those deposits from thorium ore. The true silver ore, we got 71 true silver ore, which is pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. I wish all of these numbers were on classic because I'd be definitely rolling in it right now. But aside from all of that, that came to 1,258 gold for the true silver ore. So quite happy with all of that. The farm is pretty damn simple in order to actually do. All you have to do is just fly around the outskirts and just farm up all the areas. It's really that simple. It's one of the most bog standard basic beginner gold farms that I'd recommend anyone getting into gold farming to actually do, especially if you obviously have a miner. That is kind of your only prerequisite that you have to have in order to do this farm. But it is definitely one that I will not scoff at doing, mainly due to the fact that it just gets you a decent gold per hour, and the node density is pretty high because, yeah, it's old world. So back in classic they actually decided where all the ore deposits were, and that means that things were closer together because they weren't intending on having flying in the original version of the game. So now we have flying in the old world. It's so much easier to get more and more of these things, and these actually respawn quite a lot easier. So then it's not like newer stuff where you have to keep flying around in like things like fell iron ore farming, which fell iron ore farming is quite hard to actually do, and we just gained 2 arcane crystals in just a couple of seconds from that. So just overall, old world farms, you get a high amount of materials because they were designed for people on ground mounts, not flying mounts, and therefore you're going to get more per hour for this. But the unfortunate reason is they actually don't derive a lot of value anymore, and you mainly only get your value from like high ticket items like the arcane crystals. So it's just something you've got to bear in mind with all of that. Now there is something you can do with thorium ore. We just got another arcane crystal, oh my god. And that is making the Imperial plate set. That actually is a very cheap set in order to craft, and it's a very people actually do buy it quite a lot. Imperial plate gear, which sells for a decent chunk of gold on the auction house, and it sells a lot faster than most other transmogs, so it's definitely something you can craft after you've done this farm and you've gotten your arcane crystals in order to do all of that stuff with. But other than that, guys, if you want to actually follow along with all this and see if this is worth your time on your server, then please feel free to go to the description for my worth it import to value it on your server as well. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and I shall see you on the next video, which will be soon.